Welcome to The Poetry Joint, a podcast about poets, poems, and poetics. My name, Stephen Donahue. I have a scant knowledge of poetry, and that is the starting point for this podcast, to see what I can learn.
There's a light on in the attic. I can see it from the outside, and I know you're on the inside. Looking out.
Exploring good poetry, bad poetry, sonnets, couplets, ballads, rhyme, no rhyme, grand verse, silly verse, concrete poetry, liquid poetry, words with meaning, words without meaning, old poets, young poets, radical poets, ancient poets, contemporary poets, confessional poets.
Angel-headed hipsters, burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo in the machinery of night.
The Poetry Joint. Hang out. See where we go. Welcome to the December 17th, 2025 episode of The Poetry Joint. As we bid goodbye to 2025, one quarter way into the 21st century. 9/11, Iraq, Facebook, iPhone, Obama, Trump, and many more events. Many more events to come. This poem by Greg Delanty. The poem, A New Law. Let there be a ban on every holiday. No ringing in the new year. No fireworks dawdling the warm night air. No holly on the door, I say. Let there be no more. For many are not here who were here before. Greg Delanty, born 1958 in Cork, Ireland.
When we lost Linda, obviously for our family it was a terrible tragedy, to say the least. But I think all of us felt that she was still there, and we would hear things and see things that somehow indicated that she was still around. And this next poem is about some of those things that happened. The wind chimes would move and ring, and there wasn't a wind. So all these strange little eerie things happened. I was taking a horse ride, which she'd introduced me to. She was a great rider. And I saw, for the second time in my life, I saw a white squirrel. You don't get many of these. And it was just looking at me. It was just staring me in the eye. And of course, I thought it was her. Now, this is called Her Spirit. Her spirit moves wind chimes when air is still and fills the rooms with fragrance of lily. Her eyes blue-green, still seen, perfectly happy with nothing. Her spirit sets the water pipes a-humming, fat electronic force be with you sound. Her spirit talks to me through animals. Beautiful creature, lay with me. Bird that calls my name insists that she is here and nothing left to fear. Bright white squirrel, foot of tree, fixes me with innocent gaze. Her spirit talks to me.
Paul McCartney reading the poem Her Spirit. The first Nobel Prize for Literature went to French poet Sully Prudhomme in 1901, the first of a dozen poets who won the Nobel Prize for Literature. Some of their poems have been read on previous episodes, but I don't think we ever reached back to 1901. The following is a translation of a Sully Prudhomme poem titled The Broken Vase. The vase where this verbena is dying was cracked by a blow from a fan. It must have barely brushed it, for it made no sound. But the slight wound biting into the crystal day by day, surely, invisibly crept slowly all around it. The clear water leaked out drop by drop. The flower's sap was exhausted. Still, no one suspected anything. Don't touch. It's broken. Thus often does the hand we love, barely touching the heart, wound it. Then the heart cracks by itself, and the flower of its love dies. Still intact in the eyes of the world, it feels its wound, narrow and deep, grow and softly cry. It's broken. Don't touch. Over 100 years since his award of the Nobel Prize for Literature, Sully Prudhomme is considered a minor character in the poetry canon. The next poet was born in 1932 in Birmingham, England. She was a poet and also at various times a journalist, a university lecturer, and a pub landlady. Jenny Joseph reading the poem Warning. And she originally wrote this poem at the age of 28.
Warning. When I'm an old woman, I shall wear purple, with a red hat, which doesn't go and doesn't suit me. And I shall spend my pension on brandy and summer gloves and satin sandals, and say, we've no money for butter. I shall sit down on the pavement when I'm tired, and gobble up samples in shops, and press alarm bells, and run my stick along the public railings, and make up for the sobriety of my youth. I shall go out in my slippers in the rain, and pick the flowers in other people's gardens, and learn to spit. You can wear terrible shirts, and grow more fat, and eat 3 pounds of sausages at a go, or only bread and pickle for a week, and hoard pens and pencils, and beer mats, and things in boxes. But now we must have clothes that keep us dry, and pay our rent, and not swear in the street, and set a good example for the children. We must have friends to dinner, and read the papers. But maybe I ought to practice a little now, so people who know me are not too shocked and surprised when suddenly I am old and start to wear purple.
That poem would later serve as inspiration for a group called the Red Hat Society, a women's movement that places emphasis on the positive aspects of life, friendship, sisterhood, and the value of play. The hidden power of a poem, indeed. The next poem is by the Canadian poet Hume Croyn. It is titled When I Am Old and was inspired by Jenny Joseph's poem Warning. When I am old, I will not be a chair or a bed. I will not sit down on my past or lie down before the great face of death. I will wear socks of different colors, and my toes will peep out through ragged holes. I will shave my head and paint a garden of flowers on my baldness. If you ask me how I am feeling, I will buy you an ice cream cone and talk about the beauty of trees. I will carry round a bag of books, and if you see me sitting cross-legged at the corner or perched on the roof of a house, do not be surprised if I regale you with stories from Moby Dick or the Laughing Man. I will learn how to smoke and blow out clouds of smoke as beautiful as any chimney does. I will learn to sing like a bird, and if you see me flying from tree to tree, I'm not an angel, just some drunken soul who sometimes wanted too much from life. When I am old, I will not sit at windows and stare down at the street as if I had already departed from life. I will refuse to walk with a cane, and even if I have to drag myself up the stairs, I will never stop praising them. If I am so lucky to have grandchildren and great-grandchildren, look for me in the midst of their play. When I am old, of course I will lie about my age. At one time I will be 10 years younger, and when I'm 100, I will add 10 years to my age. If I lie down, it will be to float on water. If I stand up, it will not be to sing the national anthem, but to kick over the table of old age and pour the jug of youth over my head. Old age, if there is anything I want from it, well, I won't scoff at wisdom, experience, memories, friendship, love, but more than anything, I want to wake up every morning thirsting to live another day that is so crazy that even teenagers will bow down in the dust and pay homage. That poem was in the book titled Inauspicious Times for Walking on Water, which I borrowed from the Calgary Public Library. The author, Hume Croyn, has been a stockbroker, a short-order chef, a lecturer on Greek mythology, and a roustabout on an oil rig. He also worked at a drop-in center for psychiatric survivors in Toronto. I've set a goal to always borrow a book of poetry whenever I go into the library. I encourage everyone to borrow a book of poetry while you are borrowing a CD, a DVD, or a novel. Pleasant surprises await. A poem by Naomi Shihab. Because of libraries, we can say these things. She is holding the book close to her body, carrying it home on the cracked sidewalk, down the tangled hill. If a dog runs at her again, she'll use the book as a shield. She looked hard along the long lines of books to find this one. When they start talking about money, when the day contains such long and hot places, she'll go inside. An orange bed is waiting. Story without corners. She'll have 2 families. They will eat at different hours. She is carrying a book past the fire station and the 5 and dime. What this town has not given her, this book will provide. A sheep, a wilderness of new solutions. The book has already lived through its troubles. The book has a calm cover, a straight spine. When the step returns to itself as the best place for sitting, and the old men up and down the street are latching their clippers, she will not be alone. She will have a book to open and open and open. Her life starts here. Naomi Shihab was born in the United States of America in 1952. The Last Poets is a musical and poetry collective that started at a writing workshop May 19th, 1968 in Harlem, New York. The original group was 3 poets, David Nelson, Dylan Kane, and Abiodun Oyewole. They added a drummer, Nilaja Obabi, and have other members and group configurations over the years. More information on their website, thelastpoets.com.
trapped in the skylines of fluorescent charms. Warm and timid touches being forced into unnatural acts. Tears turning into delicate muscles that caress the night wind, telling it of the truth, telling it of the pain. Aren't we all so very human? Look, here comes the baddest dude on the block. And I turn around and see neatly dressed death walking down the street, charming all the grown-ups with a terrified smile while handing out chocolate-covered crack lollipops to the children. Where have all the down studs gone? Where have all the down studs gone? Long time passing, long time passing. Jive whispers from neon lips. Eldorado dreams in satin colors. Rich men dancing with limp dolls in the luxury of their shame. Their mouths foaming with dead languages while democratic lies play at the moon. Why must the dark ages still play games with us? Blind sprinters lost in a moment of a peaceful masquerade. Evil is an intruder, but why do we let it in? We have no one to blame but ourselves. We elevate and praise the wise men, but get lost in their wisdom. We feel the passion and truth of the poets, but kill them with thunderous applause. Is there anything not sacred anymore? Is there anything not sacred anymore? Honesty, justice, freedom, justice, honesty, all being devoured by Western imitations of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is drowning out the tears of deception. If we had a power so tender as time, maybe then we could wipe this savage onslaught from our minds. The children dream from the twilight of indecision. We must make their dreams come true. Let us begin to talk to the brighter days with our eyes. The night belongs to the softness of our hearts. The new circle is beginning. Will we be there when it ends? We used to wonder why the ocean danced so childishly before the eyes of expression. We used to understand why the grass died so mysteriously from the days of winters gone by. Look back, fallen lovers. How far have we come? How much further do we have to go? Life will never be the same. It may never again be perfect. It may never again be beautiful. But we must try, at least, to make it normal. To be poets. To be poets and sing out the joyous resurrection of our minds. To be poets and charm the emptiness of this anticipation. To be poets and comfort this gentle grief of our souls. To be poets and bring sunshine to the mutiny of these meager days. Peace will dance with creation and the sadness of our beings, and everyone's uniqueness will fall like rain from the eyes of God is a friend. The phoenix will come from the flames this time. There will be no ashes to ashes. Love must be there when the dust clears. Ollie, 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 house in tree. Ollie, 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 house in tree.
That was the Last Poets, the track titled We Must Be Sacred, of the release What It Means to Be Black.
Reality by Jill Scott. Okay. My dreams have orange shoes with polka dot toes. My dreams have wings and 7 fins. My dreams can run on light, and my dreams can swim. And suddenly it's 4 a.m. My body jolts awake. My baby is crying. And I'm human again. I think I'm tired. I think I don't want to crack. A huge, small smile welcomes me in and encourages me back, and it's the sweetest scent, ever so warm and ever so truly meant. It's love. I am human. My dreams have me falling into something that's so good for me. I can taste the victory. I can smell the lemon zing. I can feel me breathing into the velocity. Wind whistling all around. There are no questions. No fear to be found. And then I'm human. I'm just human again. And I'm in a car. I put on lipstick and I pray and I get out and then I walk in to pretty face smiles. Smells like pedo and bleach. And I hate the tile floors and I wish the nurses would stop smiling. 'Cause at the end of this hallway, past the door on the right, my daddy don't even remember me. I am human. My dreams have teeth. My dreams stick to my gizzards. My dreams reach like plants for the sun, infants for the teat, like oceans for tiny sand on every single beach. I am dreams, walking, talking, living through the moments, living through the poetry book in my hand. I am the dream. I am human. I am human. I am human. I am human. I am human.
Reality by Jill Scott. Jill Scott began her career as a poet while studying to become a high school English teacher. She creatively made up rhymes to help students learn to spell. Although she was not encouraged much in her teaching career, she eventually decided to change careers to acting, which led to musical collaborations and eventually to a singer-songwriter career with much success. Jill Scott, poet. Hogmanay is a New Year celebration in Scotland and has been since the 1600s. It is considered bad luck to say Happy New Year before midnight on December 31st. The traditional greeting is a Happy New Year when it comes. The next poet, Pennie, was born in 1999. She is a poet, Scots language performer, writer, and mental health advocate. She gained popularity during the COVID lockdown with her social media posts like Scott's Word of the Day and her poem videos. A couple of her poems reflecting the Scots attitude on this time of year.
Alright lads, lang syne no see. It's hardly been a year. Jeez oh, it's almost Christmas time. That's giving me the fear. Between Christmas Day and Hogmanay, for those who dinna ken, while once were cried the daft days, will shin be coming ben. And though this time is awfully braw, I really must confess, I have to take a moment to divert my wee address. To those who have to work a shift, to those at home alone, to those who'll open presents and eat turkey through the phone, to those who're biding far awa fra where they'd rather be, know that love's comprised of mair than what's in a blaw tree. The nights are fairly drawing in, and shin afore ye ken, we'll charge your glasses, toast the bells, sing Auld Lang Syne again. We'll coorie doon, despite the cod, for a bosie and a kiss. We'll haud the ones we ca' our ain, and think on those we miss. A toast to all the quines and loons, the lassies and the lads, to nannies, papas, bairns and wains, to mammies and to dads. I pray you find all that you seek, and peace begets your soul. Come winter time, may your lum reek with somebody else's coal. Ears for a toty wee sec, till I tell yous a story o' mine. It isna ower long, and I promise to skip all the parts that were there to fill time. But I feel that as Christmas and Hogmanay's o'er, and we've all just went back to being sad, I should share with yous all my thoughts on a year that I honestly shouldna hae had. At the start of the year, as days were gae dark and the shadows were all I could see, I thought to mysel, as mony I stood, that life didna hold mair for me. I gied up, surrendered, let go of the rope and forgot what it is that I was. There's no braw wee way to describe how I felt, but there's millions of people like us. Done feeling as darkness and numbness and guilt, sympathetic to apathy's cause. It's fechting with black dogs you're wanting to win, lying down to be caught in its jaws. But hold on, I'm here, I'm alive just about, and I dinna intend to be deed. I'll fecht my way through the same way as you, and they battle each day with my heed. Now I'm no religious, but just on the off chance the wee man is biding up there, here's a wee plea fae me for all those like us, a depressed wee atheist's prayer. May gies us a haun up out of this mess, gies us a toty head start, gies us a second to catch our breath and regain control of our heart. Ken, I'd love it if I could relax, sleep and smile, tak care of mysel and eat. I dinna want much, for I'm easily pleased, and my heart is quite content to just beat. So for abdy listening, who I kens how I feel and bides in the darkness with me, with 1 year ahint us, we look to the next, and dinna ken all that we see. But you, just like me, survived all the things that life tried to tack and turn bad. I pray that I'll see yous all next Hogmanay. Another year that we shouldn't hae had.
The two poems by Pennie were A Toast to the Daft Days and The Year. Happy celebrations, whatever you are celebrating, Saturnalia, Yalda, Christmas, Yule, and a Happy New Year to you when the New Year comes. This has been the Poetry Joint. We'll be back again next year.
Another version of the name Anna is Annabel Lee, as heard in this poem by Mr. Edgar Allan Poe. It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. She was a child and I was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud by night, chilling my Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kingsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels not half so happy in heaven when envying her and me. Oh, this is a long poem. That was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of a cloud, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than love of those that were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of thy beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I see the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night tide I lay down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the side of the sea. Edgar Allan Poe, fender bender poet.